Prescription drugs. For millions of Americans who are suffering from a medical condition, these drugs help manage pain, control symptoms, and improve their quality of life. Yet, these same drugs can be dangerous and/or addicting. According to recent findings, there is an alarming rate of use and misuse of prescription drugs. In fact, arrests and deaths due to this problem are on the rise, with some health officials calling it an epidemic.
The use and misuse of substances and the way in prescribers should be more pharmacovigilant in prescribing are serious concerns for a number of reasons. Western medicine really revolves around using medications. They're very powerful tools. So the access to those medications, because there's so many physicians, so many ways to get them, is an issue. In the United States, people have very much access to any medication they want. You can watch a television show, and in half an hour you can see many advertisements from pharma companies telling you about the drugs that are out there. So consumers now are much more educated. They know more about disease, and they want access to the medications that they feel that are going to cure them.
One of the best ways to ensure prescription drug safety is to take them exactly as directed by a prescriber or as indicated on the manufacturer's packaging information. Yet 50% of the 1.8 billion prescription medications dispensed annually in the U.S. are not taken correctly by patients.
A lot of times a patient is not really engaged in their own pharmacotherapeutic journey. Prescribers don't have a lot of time today to sit down with a patient and find out exactly what drugs they're taking, why they're taking them. And even if I would ask a patient, what drugs are you taking? A lot of people don't really understand that question. If they're taking over-the-counters, they may not consider those drugs. Or if it's a prescription drug, they may not consider those drugs either.
Many experts also say the current one-drug-fits-all approach to prescription drugs is a main reason accurate and reliable laboratory diagnostics is critical. Research shows that more than 90% of drugs only work in 30 to 50% of people.
The way prescribing works today in the United States is we rarely do any of those tests before we get the medication. It's usually take this and call me in the morning. Well, for 50% of the people, we know that it doesn't work for them. So they're going to continue to keep trying a different drug. They'll seek out a different prescriber. They'll self-medicate. They'll use combinations of medications that don't work or cancel each other out. That's not an optimal outcome. So by upfront doing some diagnostics that can at least get the prescriber somewhere closer to where you need to be.
Today, there is a greater need than ever before to promote the proper use of medication from the onset of a prescription to the monitoring of a drug through the course of treatment. Two unique clinical diagnostic monitoring and reporting tools developed by medical scientists at Dominion Diagnostics have been designed to give practitioners insight into their patients' prescription regimen and improve their treatment outcomes.
We have two clinical tools that we use. One is called CARD, which stands for Comprehensive Analysis of Reported Drugs. The other is SAM, which is Scientifically Accurate Medication Monitoring. These tools take a list of medications, either from the patient or from the pharmacy, the drugs that the patient is supposed to be taking, and we take a sample from the patient, and we simply match up what the patient or the pharmacy tells us the patient should have, and identify those drugs for the prescriber. So in a very simple one-page report, a prescriber can look and tell whether you're adherent with your prescription regimen or not.
Recent medical reports estimate that a full third of the $2.4 trillion spent on healthcare in the U.S. could be eliminated without reducing the quality of care. The Dominion's clinical testing tools support a higher standard of patient care and promote ongoing cost savings that may benefit the healthcare system as a whole.
The major benefits are patient safety and positive patient outcomes. A secondary benefit would be we would do this much more fiscally responsible and not burden the healthcare system by filling prescriptions that are not taken or potentially harm you. There was a study some years ago in the Journal of the American Medical Association showing that deaths from adverse drug reactions, these are getting the wrong prescription medications. Not a mistake at the pharmacy, just the wrong drug for you or the wrong combination of drugs for you are the fourth or sixth leading cause of death in America. It's a serious issue. So by identifying what drugs you have in your system by using diagnostics, some of these side effects and even death can be prevented.
According to a U.S. study, almost half of all Americans took at least one prescription drug per month in 2008, an increase of 10% over the past decade. Dominion Diagnostics is leading the way in helping to educate prescribers, patients, and payers as to the complexity and utility of pharmacology.
Being able to incorporate diagnostics, or sort of being the translator, sitting between the patient, the prescriber, the payer, the regulatory agencies, is a nice place to be. At the end of the day, people want an objective tool to hang their hat on, and that's what laboratory is. It's objective, it's a measurement, it's real. So everybody can get that measurement and use it as their metric as they move forward or make their adjustments from the payer side, from the prescriber side, from the patient side. All those folks will benefit from knowing that diagnostic.
Dominion Diagnostics, a state-of-the-art medical laboratory located in Rhode Island, is at the forefront of providing comprehensive testing solutions to objectify and ascertain the efficacy of a drug regimen and improve patient safety.
The future for our organization looks bright. The future for the laboratory industry looks very, very bright. As we unravel the genome, as functional genomics become real, as we understand more and more about how to use technology to measure parts and things that happen within a system or a disease process, the better diagnostic, the better the clinician has a chance to get to you early. And what we want to do, really, the goal of diagnostics is not just to find something after you have it. It's to use diagnostics to be predictive so we can budget and understand what may happen to you down the road. So we can then possibly intervene before you even have the problem. That's the way this should work.
To learn more about Dominion Diagnostics, visit dominiondiagnostics.com or call 877-734-9600. Unparalleled Laboratory Excellence.